Alright, let's just find our way into child's pose. Knees wide apart, forehead on the ground, torso in between your legs, and arms resting out in front of you. Let's just take a few moments in child's pose, transitioning your mind from life in general into your yoga practice. Just feel like something really magical happens in child's pose. Like the world around me kind of just disappears and brings me to the present, to my yoga practice. A very sacred time to me, by the way, and as it should be for you as well. Take one last inhale here, then reach your arms out forward, palms flat on the ground, tucking under your toes, coming into a full-blown downward facing dog, hips sloping high, heels pressing low, palms pressing flat on the floor, opening up your shoulders, using your core muscles to just push your hips up a little bit higher, and just find your way into your personal full-blown downward facing dog. Breathing deep, breathing free. Shake out your head. Our first active pose of this practice, this very active practice, by the way. And breathe. Enjoying a full-blown downward facing dog, and from here just drop your knees to the floor. Open your feet wider than your hips and start walking your hands backward until your butt touches the floor in between your feet. So obviously your butt does not necessarily have to go all the way down to the floor. You can use your hands to support your weight. Just go to the degree where you're feeling subtle sensations in those knees, those quads, but nothing excruciating. I'm just taking a few breaths here. Enjoying some circulation in those muscles. And breathe. So everything I say during this class is a suggestion, but it's up to you to decide what you want to do. From here, crawl your hands forward, back to tabletop, and then when you get there, just reach your right arm forward, extend your left leg out, straight, and pull your limbs as far away from each other as possible, lifting them high. Taking a deep inhale as you lengthen out just a little bit more. And then exhale, put everything down and just switch. Right leg out and behind you, left arm forward. A deep inhale as you lengthen out. And lift your limbs just a tad higher. And breathe. Just warming up those muscles, the glutes, the core, the spine. One last inhale here and just put everything down to tabletop pose. Step your feet back to plank pose, upper push-up position. Take a deep inhale in plank. Strong arms. Exhale, lower slow to the floor. On the next inhale, come up into a super gentle back bend, cobra, not too deep, and then exhale, chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Once again, exhale, chin taps the floor. Inhale, come up into a slightly deeper cobra, and then exhale, chin to the floor. Inhale, come up into another cobra. Fourth cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor. Inhale, come up into the fifth cobra. And let's just hold it for a few breaths. You can fidget around, see if your range of motion may have slightly increased here. And then exhale, chin to the floor, push the plank, go all the way to downward facing dog. Whew. Fidget around in down dog, pedal your feet, work out any kinks that you might be feeling. Pressing the palms firmly on the ground, pressing the heels low, sloping the hips high with those strong core muscles. Head and neck dangling free. Breath is deep and free. And then just walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, glance up softly as you lengthen out your spine. Exhale, fold deep. Let your head and neck dangle free here. Look behind you, in between your legs, just for a few breaths. And then from here, on the next inhale, open your arms out to the side, lengthen out your spine, breathing deep, breathing free. Knees bent or straight, whatever feels the best for you today. And then on another inhale, you're going to circle your arms up to the sky, bend back if that feels good to you. And then exhale, fold. Head and neck dangling free. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen out your spine, your neck. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank. Take a deep inhale in plank. And then exhale, lower slow to the floor. Inhale, come up into a cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push the plank, go all the way to downward facing dog. Deep inhales in down dog. Fidget around again if you need to, or do full blown downward facing dog. Just let your body kind of lead you, whatever feels right. And find your way back to full blown downward facing dog. Deep inhales, deep exhales here. Core pushing those hips up high. Head and neck dangling free. Breathing deep. From here, just walk your feet back to your hands once again. Inhale, glance up halfway, lengthen out your spine and neck. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle your arms up to the sky, bend back if that feels good. And then exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, glance up halfway, lengthen out the neck, the spine. Exhale, hands on the floor, step back to plank. Take a deep inhale in plank. Exhale, lower slow to the floor. Inhale, untuck your toes, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push all the way to downward facing dog. Beautiful job, you guys. Shake out your head, pedal your feet, catch your breath. Down dog is like an active rest pose, really. Breathing deep, breathing free. Your mind is wandering, bring it back to your practice. One deep inhale here. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Then inhale, glance up halfway. Exhale, fold. Head and neck dangling free. Next inhale, come up to standing, circle your arms up to the sky, sun salutation, right? Exhale, fold. Inhale, glance up halfway. Lengthen out everything you can imagine. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank pose. Lower to the ground, slow. Untuck the toes, come up into your cobra on an inhale. Exhale, chin to the floor, push all the way back to downward facing dog. Shake out your head, walk out your dog. Inhale the good shit. Exhale the bad shit. Yeah. Let go of anything you don't need, maybe. Just find your way into a full-blown downward facing dog again. And then walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen out your spine. Exhale, fold. And then from here, just bend your knees. And on an inhale, bring your arms up to the sky, chair pose. Exhale, straighten out your legs and fold. Inhale, glance up halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. Lower to the ground, slow. Untuck your toes and come up into your cobra on an inhale. Exhale, chin to the floor, push the plank and go all the way to downward facing dog this time. Right leg lifts up to the sky, step it in between your hands, and at your own pace come up into a crescent pose, and then exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank, lower slow. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, and then downward facing dog. Left leg up, step it in between your hands, and come on up to crescent pose on the other side. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank, and lower slow. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push up, go all the way to downward facing dog. Whew. Let's start to flow. And walk out your dog, shake out your head. Active rest pose, right? Catch your breath. And find your way into full-blown downward facing dog, hips sloping high. One more breath here. And then just start walking your feet to your hands. When your feet get to your hands, come up halfway on an inhale, exhale, fold. Bend your knees at a 90-degree angle and then circle your arms up to the sky, chair. Exhale, straighten out the legs and fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank, lower to the earth. Untuck your toes and come up into cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor and push up all the way to downward facing dog. Right leg up to the sky, step it in between your hands, and then come on up to crescent on an inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank, lower to the ground, slow. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor and push all the way to downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky, step it in between your hands, and then come on up to crescent pose. Exhale, hands back to the floor, step back to plank pose, lower to the ground. Inhale, come up into a cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push the plank, and go all the way to downward facing dog. Whew. Deep inhale through your nose, open your mouth, exhale. Great job so far, you guys. Deep inhale in full-blown downward facing dog. Shake out your head. Walk your dog. Catch your breath. From here, walk your feet to your hands or jump, your choice. Glance up softly halfway, inhale, exhale, fold. And then from here, just lift your left leg up to the sky. Right leg could be bent or not. And then exhale, left foot next to right foot. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, right foot next to left foot. Inhale, bend your knees, come up to chair. And then this time, straighten your legs and stand up tall. Circle your arms up to the sky if you want. And then just drop your right arm next to your right side and then bend over to the right. Left arm up. And then this time switch over. So right arm up, left arm down, and then bend over to the left. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Bend back if that feels good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, glance up softly. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank. Lower to the ground. Untuck your toes and come up into a cobra. Deep inhale in cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor. Push up and go all the way to downward facing dog. Step your right foot in between your hands. Crescent pose on an inhale. This time, open your arms out and twist over to the right. Twisting lunge. Inhale, come back to center, open your arms up wide, and then exhale, both forearms on the inside of the right foot. Inhale, push up to crescent once again, and then exhale, hands to the floor, feet back to plank, lower slow. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push the plank, go all the way to downward facing dog, and the left foot steps in between the hands. Inhale, come up to crescent. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center, open your arms wide. Chest open, glance up softly. Exhale, both forearms on the inside of the left foot. And then inhale, push back to crescent. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank, lower slow to the ground. Inhale, come up halfway. Cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, downward facing dog. Talking is hard, guys. Anyways, grab your left outside of the left knee with the right hand and just start twisting. So it's like three-legged down dog. Strengthening that left shoulder and arm. Look underneath and above your left armpit and twist. Breathing deep, breathing free. Alright, right hand back to regular down dog and just do the other side. Left hand grabs the outside of the right knee and twist. Breathing free, breathing deep. So obviously you can come out early if you need to, but if you're still with me, just breathe. You guys got this. Alright, left hand back to down dog. Shake out your head. Catch your breath. And then just walk your feet back to your hands. Inhale halfway, exhale fold. And then lift your left leg up to the sky to your own personal sweet spot. Exhale, left foot next to right. Inhale, right leg up to the sky to your own personal sweet spot. And then exhale, right foot next to left. Bend your knees and come up to chair on an inhale. And then exhale, straighten out your legs. Inhale, bend back if that feels good to you. Exhale, bend over to the right. Next, inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, bend over to the left. Inhale, come up, bend back if that feels good to you, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, hands to the ground, step back to plank, lower to the earth, slow. Inhale, come up into a cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor. Push the plank. Go all the way to downward facing dog. Right leg steps in between your hands. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Open your arms wide. And then exhale, hands or arms down on the floor. Inhale, come back to crescent pose. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank, lower to the earth. Inhale, come up to cobra. Whew. Exhale, chin to the floor, downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky, step it in between your hands. Inhale, come up to crescent. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, come back to center, open wide. And then exhale, both forearms on the inside of the left foot. And then inhale, come back up to crescent. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank, and then lower slow. Inhale, come up into your cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor and push all the way to downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in down dog, and then this time finagle your right hand up onto your back, in between your scapula. So it's like you're in three-legged down dog, but just also giving that scapula a nice stretch. Alright, right hand back to down dog and do the other side with the left hand. Try to press the back of your left hand in between your scapulas and twist over to the right. Breathing deep, breathing free, twisting. Left hand back to down dog, press deeply into your downward facing dog, full blown downward facing dog. Shake out your head, heels pressing low, hips sloping high. Deep inhales, and then step or jump your feet to your hands, your choice. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then on the next inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, left foot next to right. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, right foot next to left foot. Inhale, come up halfway, and then bend your knees and come on up to chair pose. Exhale, circle your arms up to the sky, straighten out your legs, and then next exhale, just bend over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bend over to the left. And breathe. Next inhale, both hands up, bend back if that feels good. Exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, glance up halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank. Lower, slow. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor. Downward facing dog, right foot in between your hands. And then inhale, come up into crescent. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, open your arms wide to the center. And then exhale, forearms on the inside of the right foot. And this time, let's hold it for just a little bit to really, really open up those hips. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Alright, torture is over. Come back up with your arms and bring your right hand on the outside of the right foot. Open your arms out to the side, balancing on that right thigh. And on the next inhale, circle your arms up to the sky, crescent pose. Exhale, hands back to the floor, feet back to plank, lower to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push to plank, and go all the way to downward facing dog. Left foot steps in between the hands. Circle your arms up to crescent. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, open your arms wide. And then exhale, forearms on the inside of the left foot. And we're going to just stay here. Do it for the other side, so we got to do it for this side too, right? Otherwise, all the Virgos are going to go crazy. I'm just joking. And just breathe deep. and get it while you can. You have to admit that you probably would not find yourself doing this today if you were not doing this yoga practice. Alright, come back up to your hands, both hands on each side of the left leg, balancing on that left thigh. Open your arms out to the side, and on the next inhale, come on up to crescent pose. Deep inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your feet back to plank pose. Exhale, lower slow to the floor. Inhale, come up into your cobra. Exhale, chin to the floor, push to plank, and go all the way to downward facing dog. And let's just do 3-legged down dog once again. Grab the outside of the left knee with the right hand. And this time try to slide your right hand closer to the left ankle. One more breath, and then right hand back to downward facing dog, and let's do the other side. Left hand grabs the outside of the right knee and twist. You can try to slide your left hand down, your right, your left hand down your right calf, closer to the right ankle. One breath, and then left hand back to downward facing dog. Deep inhale and down dog, and then exhale, just drop your knees to the floor, open your feet wide, and try to bring your butt in between your feet on the floor. And of course it doesn't have to get to the floor, but if you feel like you have the range of motion, you can start leaning back and go onto your forearms. Or if you feel like me today, you can go all the way down onto your back and stretch your arms behind you. But honestly, it doesn't matter where you go. You could also have your hands supporting your weight sitting up. All that matters is you're listening to your body and you're not jamming this pose down your body's throat. That's pretty much how you get injured. Alright, if you're lying down, like me, come back to sitting. Walk your hands out in front of you, back to tabletop pose, cross your legs behind you, and sit up tall. Bring your legs out in front of you, and just spread your legs wide apart. And take an inhale here, and then exhale, fold as deeply as you can fold. So as you can see, this is my deep forward fold, and it's really not that deep looking at all, but trust me guys, I feel it here. So you might be more flexible than me, you might not be, doesn't really matter. Just find your perfect stretch as you keep those legs planted on the floor, your hips planted on the floor, your back as straight as possible, and breathe. I used to hate doing this pose mainly because I would see other people in my yoga class going so much deeper than me, and it would make me feel bad about myself, but now I realize it doesn't matter. Anyways, walk your hands to your right foot, keeping your left hip down on the floor, left leg down the floor, as you grab your right toes and just pull yourself gently over to the right. So like I was saying, it really doesn't matter. I mean, people make such a big deal about flexibility. What yoga is really about is just maintaining your range of motion. It's not really about flexibility. But flexibility is a side effect of maintaining your range of motion. Alright, walk your hands back down the middle and just go over to the other side. So after many years of yoga practice, I realized how toxic my own mentality was about yoga, because I was always comparing myself to other people, and there's nothing seriously more disrespectful that you can do to yourself than to compare yourself with other people. Walk your hands back down the middle. Deep fold for me. Couple more breaths here. Just enjoying it while you can. It's even toxic to compare yourself to yourself at a different time in your life. Because our cells rejuvenate constantly. We're not the same people that we were 10 years ago, 7 years ago. Anyways, find your way down onto the mat, onto your back, and hug your knees into your chest. Draw some circles, massaging those back muscles. From here, just straighten out your legs up to the sky. Make sure that your head and neck are comfortable here. And then just reach your arms about a foot off the floor. Your hands, I mean. So that's 30 centimeters if you're not from the US. And crunch up as you drop your right leg the same height as your hand, and try to bring your face closer to your left knee. So in case you're wondering, we're working the core muscles. So obviously this is probably not going to give you a six-pack, but it will prevent your abs from atrophying. Anyway, switch sides. So right leg up, drop your left leg, and crunch up. Alright, both legs to the sky. Crunch up for another breath, and then just reach your hand and try to grab your toes, flexing your feet. And drop your head back to the floor. Release your toes, and super duper gently bring your feet to the floor over your head. So obviously your feet doesn't have to touch the floor. It could be hanging in the air. Your legs don't necessarily have to be straight. They could be bent. But we're doing this pose because it's Cobra in complete reverse, and we want to really do all sorts of motions, right? So anyways, put your hands on your lower back and just start lifting your legs up into the air, into shoulder stand. So your torso is kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's not completely straight. And you're using the strength of your biceps to just hold yourself up there. And we're going to stay here for quite some time because this is a very, very important pose. They call it the king of all yoga poses. And I have to agree, because one of the biggest stresses on our body is gravity's effects on our body, constantly pulling us down. And this kind of just reverses all of gravity's effects on our body, letting all that blood just flow the other way. few more breaths. It's also a really good one for isolating those bicep muscles. From here, just drop your feet back to the floor over your head. Have your hands in the support position. Engage your core muscles. And slowly, with the strength of your core, roll out in complete control until you're lying flat on the ground. From here, hug your right knee into your chest, draw a few circles to loosen those hips. And then just open your right arm to the right, push your right knee over to the left, and breathe. And glance at your right hand and twist. Deep inhales and deep exhales here. With each deep exhale, maybe you can twist just a tiny bit more, only if it feels right. Alright, come back to center, hug the right knee in, and then release the right leg, hug the left knee into the chest, draw a few circles to loosen up those hips, open the left arm to the left, pull the left knee over to the right, and twist. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Beautiful job, you guys. If you made it this far, I want to say I'm proud of you, but I just want you to be proud of yourself. You just spent almost 40 minutes completely enamored on a yoga practice, and that's amazing. Alright, hug your left knee into your chest, and then hug your right knee into your chest as well, both knees into the chest. And then on an inhale, bring your face to your knees, squeeze everything, and then exhale, let everything go. Whew. Shavasana. You definitely earned that one, so whew. Great job, you guys. It's so important to really stay here for at least a few minutes. It's like congratulating or thanking your body for going through that practice, for taking you through that. So it's like giving back to your body, basically. Maybe you can close your eyes and notice any subtle sensations that you feel, like the vibrations going through your body. Anything you don't need, may you let it go. May you be led by wisdom rather than by vanity. I have to tell myself that constantly. Alright, namaste, you guys. Thank you for practicing with me, and I'm seriously so grateful for all of you. And I will see you guys in the next one.